Let us bow our heads for prayer. Father, we're so thankful for the beautiful day that you've given us, the opportunity to come together this evening. We thank you, Lord, for our city. We thank you for our mayor, all the council, and all those that make this city what it is today. And we're so thankful that, God, that your grace has been so sufficient. You've always been helpful to us. And we're thanking you tonight for all that will be brought before this body, that, Lord, your perfect will be done. Bless and continue, and especially, Lord, upon every employee of our city. Place your hand upon them in safety and keep them in love. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Has everybody got an agenda? Going into citizens' comments, if anybody has anything to address the council with, please come up, state your name, address for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes, please.
My name is Paula Waters, and I'm the president of West Metro Board of Realtors for Carroll, Harrelson, and Heard County. And I'd like to say Mayor Hollingsworth, City Councilman Chuck Connerly, Tim Grizzard, we wanted to reach out to you and thank you for continuing the conversation with us about many of the housing issues facing our fine city. The task before this council is not easy or simple. Smart growth is an exciting concept for our future development and is very wise to research every possible angle to help make our city the best it can be with wise and prudent planning. Thank you for inviting the Realtor members to the most recent work session on October the 6th. At that meeting, we respectfully ask you guys not to make changes to current ordinances or past current ordinances until our consultant had time to review current ordinance to see how they work with our smart growth goals for Carrollton. I'm happy to report to you that several of us met with our consultant from the National Association of Realtors this past Friday in Orlando, Florida. And we're really close to having some ideas to present that offer balance and creativity as we work together for the common goal of our balanced housing in our city. We actually plan to connect with you in the next 10 to 11 days. We respectfully ask again this evening to give us only 30 more days to submit ideas that are better suited for our city than the downzoning of 10 units per acre to 6 units per acre. We believe that this is continuing to reinforce the perception of many that our city is ready for an active business and thriving businesses. We don't understand the rush to implement another punitive ordinance without first taking the time to discover other possible options to accomplish the same goal. Thanks again, the recent engagement, and for the opportunity to discuss these important decisions further for the great city of Carrollton. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Waters. Anybody else?
Mayor, Your Honor, I'd just like to, I'm Annie Boykin, 149 Carter Street. I'd just like to thank you all for what you all did over the weekend, this past week that passed, for the sidewalk that you all put on Carter Street. Thank you all very much. It looked very nice. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. Have a motion. Second.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 6, approval of agenda items for consideration. Have a motion? Have a motion, Mr. Byrd. Second, Mr. Waters. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Item number 1, recognition, West Georgia Warriors. Mr. Byrd.
Yes, sir. Mayor Hollingsworth, other members of the council, citizens, and city staff. I would like to, at this time, recognize our West Georgia Warriors. I received a call from Miss Christy Simpson informing me of their recent accomplishment. And what if we do it this way? I'll read the proclamation, which is to the coaches, but it also reflects the players as well. And in the end, I will call your names and come up, and then we'll all take a nice photograph in the front and shake the mayor's hand and all that good stuff. Is that good? All right, good. This is from the Office of the Mayor, Carrollton, Georgia, Certificate of Recognition, November 7th, 2016. West Georgia Warriors Travel Baseball Team. West Georgia Warriors, could you please stand at this time? And everyone associated or affiliated with them, coaches, parents, could y'all please stand at this time? Let's give them a hand. They are the 2016 USSSA Global Major World Series 13 and under champions. Whereas it gives the mayor and council a tremendous amount of pleasure and pride to express to all members of the West Georgia Warriors 13 and under baseball team, players, coaches, and parents, our sincere congratulations on winning back-to-back tournaments in the 2016 USSA Global Major World Series 13 and under, Major Championship Division, and whereas each of you are to be commended in achieving excellence in the game of baseball, something which I have never even played, so I commend you for that. And whereas a young person must possess an outstanding spirit of dedication, enthusiasm, and willingness to work hard, hands up if you've been working hard, to work hard, incorporating into their daily lives the concepts and disciplines which they have been taught. Now, therefore, we are pleased to publicly recognize the following members of the West Georgia Warriors 13 and under USSA Global World Series champions and their coaches. The players are Mitchell Cole, come on down. This might take up time. I'll go down there. Let's give him a hand. I don't know what his name is. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Colton Cosper. And we have Brooks Hardy. Good to see you, Brooks Hardy. And we have Chaz Hickman. Bear Maliak. Bear Matliak. I can see that name on a baseball card. Can't y'all? Blake Matthews. We have Kyle Aldridge. Dalton Payne. Eli Runyon. And Sam Simpson. Tucker Sullivan. Parker Willis. And then their coaches, if you will come up. Thank you very much. Good job. Congratulations. Tyler Meggs is the head coach. Lauren Matliak is the assistant coach. I didn't read the last part of the statement, but it says, therefore, we are pleased to publicly recognize the following members of the West Georgia Warriors 13 and under USSA Global Major World Series champions and their coaches for their fine efforts, and proudly present them this certificate as an expression of admiration. Signed the 7th day of November 2016, Gerald Bird, Mayor Pro Tem. So if the rest of the council, Mayor, could come around, Mayor Hollingsworth, and we could get a nice photograph. And this is for you, Coach.
Oh, no, you're good.
It's good. You like? I like it. It's pretty revolutionary. It's very European too. I like that.
Item number 2, recognition, water filter plant superintendent, Ms. Connie Nelms. Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am so very proud to be able to recognize our plant superintendent, Ms. Connie Nelms. Connie, if you'd stand up and come forward. She has been named the chairman of the Georgia section of the American Water Works Association. She's been with AWWA probably over 10 years. She's been with the city 11 and a half years. She runs our water plant, and this is a very timely thing to recognize. I know there's a lot of systems around us that are worried about running out of water, and we've got capacity for probably 9 more months if it didn't rain at all, and we know it's going to rain, and she is here all through the weekend and runs that plant with an iron fist and is on top of everything. There's basins being reworked as we speak, and it's just constantly improved and well managed, and has an excellent staff. Our chief operator, Robert Moore, is back there with his son. And Robert, we appreciate you being here. So I'm going to do something I rarely do and hug an employee. So anyway.
Item number 3, Resolution 21-216, Unified Development Ordinance Amendment. Ms. Studdard.
Good evening. The next item on your agenda is a resolution to amend the Unified Development Ordinance to require basically to limit the density in multifamily to 6 units per acre unless the petitioner requests a special use permit. This was originally proposed so that basically the mayor and council could look at each multifamily development on a case-by-case basis. One thing we did add from the last meeting that we had where it was tabled is we did add a provision that basically puts this back on the agenda in November 2017 for you guys to review at that time whether or not we would like to sunset it and increase it back again, or if you would like to leave it at 6. But that's the only thing that's changed since September. Do you have any questions?
They say we put a sunset on it.
You have the option to sunset. The way it's written is that it will be put on the agenda for November 2017, and you will basically review it at that time, and you could sunset the 6 units per acre at that point if you wanted to.
Sunset meaning?
Meaning that you would adjust it back to 10 or some other suitable density that you would prefer.
Just to be clear, we could address this after we get a smart growth plan or any sort of recommendations from the consultant. We could look at possibly redoing or changing some of those ordinances between now and then as well. Is that
correct? It doesn't negate any sort of review of it before November of 2017, but it does intentionally put it back on the agenda in November of 2017.
Is there any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 21, 2016.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, I've seen you ready to vote. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please raise your hand. Yeah, opposed? 4-1. Number 4, Resolution 25-216, Little Free Pantry Program. Ms. Studdard.
Yes. We had 2 council members in the last couple of months approach City Hall about potentially putting up little free pantries. Several years ago, we started a little free library program. Many of you are familiar with the little free library box on the square. There's also one in front of City Hall. And there's also one, I think, at the city school system. And they've been pretty popular. I think that they are well used, and the books seem to turn over. People put books in and take it out. It's kind of a, you can take as many as you would like and put in as many as you would like. We had 2 council members approach us in the last 2 months about doing something similar with pantries. Basically, it would be the same concept. They would be small boxes, and the basically non-perishable food items and other items that people in need may need, such as diapers, cans of formula, that sort of thing. Both Councilmember Byrd and Councilmember Wolchik have kind of driven this, and then Chuck Connolly also prepared the resolution. This is actually a program that's being implemented in other parts of the country. We will put together some policy and use type rules and regulations so that we can monitor it a little bit, and that will come after the adoption of the resolution.
Is there any discussion or question?
Yes, I would like to thank Rory for being instrumental in this. I think we kind of came together at the same time with the same idea, so it was just absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited that people who don't have food will be able to go up to these pantries and get free food. It's just that simple, And I think it's a wonderful thing and probably one of the best things we've ever done up here in my 16 years of being here. So thank you to the staff as well. Chuck, thank you for preparing that package for us. So let's move forward. I'm excited.
I have a question. Do we have a locations where we're going to place these, or is that going to be determined later, or?
I think in the resolution it says that it will be decided by the city manager, but I think looking at where need really is in our city, I know I've had a few people voice requests for having one near the lake over there, maybe on the at City Hall, but I think it's really just a discussion needs to be held where the need is and where will they be filled again. We don't want to put them in some corner that that nobody has access to and that people won't go back and continue to refill those boxes too.
One thing, too, to consider is, I mean, the little free libraries are located where there are a lot of pedestrians, where folks might be walking by and see it. So that might be a consideration as well, as far as where they may be placed.
Erica, y'all, let's also consider, too, the stigma that comes along with getting free food out of a pantry. Maybe it's not hidden, but we should maybe take that into consideration as well. The shame that sometimes comes along with getting free food. Because there's been times where I needed to visit that little free pantry myself not so long ago. So let's think about that. And two, let's also use data, since we like talking about data up here so much. Let's use data to determine the poorest parts of town as well. Rory, I know you have some pockets, and I have a lot of pockets too, so it's awesome.
We've got some census tract information and that sort of stuff that we can use.
Do you know if any other municipalities in Georgia have a project similar to this?
I'm not aware of one in Georgia, but I'm aware of quite a few nationwide. Now, that's not to say there aren't any in Georgia. It's just when I did the research, I didn't see any.
So are you saying that we get to claim to be the first in Georgia?
If you do, don't give me the attribution because I'm not sure. But it's modeled after several programs. There was one in particular in Arkansas. I mean, for what it's worth, they're great programs, and people, in addition to non-perishable food items, were putting in diapers and other things that I'm sure are much need. But as it turns out, there are state laws and federal laws that provide some degree of immunity for people that are making food donations. So from a liability standpoint, it's not a significant concern.
That's awesome.
How big are these going to be in kiosk, or what are they going to look like? I'm just curious how big they are.
We haven't worked the details out on the construction, but they'll probably look pretty similar to the little free libraries. They may need to be a little bit bigger just because, if they're holding, several packs of diapers and canned goods and that sort of stuff, the little free libraries are a little small for that. But the same general concept. They're not going to be huge. They'll be on some sort of post just like the little free libraries.
Just being a former prosecutor, I guess, and being a lawyer, unfortunately, I have the tendency of looking at people in a negative light. Are we going to be able to police these things to make sure that people don't take advantage by somehow sabotaging them to put in poisoning food or something like that? Are we going to have some sort of policing mechanism to go out there, or are we just going to hope to heaven that everybody that puts stuff in there? I mean, you made reference to other programs. Apparently there hasn't been any problems, and I hate to say that. I just would hate for this to be an opportunity.
Can we put a disclaimer on it, too, saying, maybe not a disclaimer, but some type of education piece saying, not to put flour in there or bags of sugar or things that can be tampered with, and instead like a hard canned good, and if you notice it's been tampered with, please do not use it or something like that.
The city attorney, in this resolution, the city attorney is directed to basically craft a disclaimer that would reduce the city's liability for those things.
And for those who cannot read, let's also do a visual disclaimer as well, with the no sign and the cracked open food, something very visual. Or people can't see imagery too well anymore to see fine print, you know what I mean? Like me.
One thing we could do also, and we've talked about this a little bit, but we haven't worked the details out, is we could look at partnering. There's several nonprofits that have programs that provide free food. They just don't have the conduit by which people can just come in, at 12 o'clock at night and get food, or, and so this might be a good location for something like that. And that's not necessarily what we were 100% going to do, but we would certainly look into having some nonprofits assist with, kind of the regulation, making sure the food's turning over, that sort of stuff.
That's who I was initially contacted by. Were a few people that were part of some of those organizations that were looking for other outlets to help our community, and I think this is going to be a fantastic one.
That's awesome.
Not after Chuck crafts a wonderful disclaimer.
And we do have
Airtight.
protection under state and federal law too. So from a liability standpoint, I feel very comfortable with it. Met's point is a little bit different though. It's one thing for the city not to have liability for the program. It's another thing to police it and make sure that it's safe. And I understand that those are two different issues.
I mean, could somebody like a church want to request one be placed close to them that they might want to look after or keep stocked? Or
I think there's a number of organizations. Some of them are faith-based and some of them are just more community-based. But I think there's a number of organizations we can reach out to. And we fully intend to if this is adopted.
Yeah.
This is great. It's great.
I think it's a great idea. I just know, like my church, for example, unfortunately, that it's locked most of the time. So people that need food, and our church will give food, but you honestly can't get in the door. So I agree with it. I'm just really concerned about people taking advantage of it and harming the general public and harming the people we're trying to help. And that's why when you look at the general welfare programs, they're policed, and you have a caseworker assigned to you for food stamps or for WIC or anything like that, just to regulate it. That's the only concern I have. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I think if we adhere to canned goods and things that can't be tampered with, and you'll know they've been tampered with, if so, I think we'll be fine. Something that's sealed, and again, maybe not like a bag of flour or something that's malleable that can be penetrated. I know if I were hungry, I would want this to take place. You know what I mean? So.
any more discussion? Motion?
I move we approve the Little Free Pantry Program as presented under Resolution 25-2016.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations. Number 5, Resolution 26-216, Hotel Motel Tax. Erica, you're still here.
I'm still here. This is my last one, and I get to sit down for a few minutes. This particular resolution is a resolution to increase our existing hotel motel tax from 5% to 8%. Under Georgia law, we're authorized to levy an excise tax on tourists, a hotel motel excise tax. Currently is at 5%. In your packets you received in the memorandum, you can see how the 5% is currently distributed. 2% goes to the CVB, which is the Carrollton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. 2% goes to the Carrollton General Fund, and then 1% goes to the Chamber of Commerce. With the increase to 8%, the percentages going to the CVB and to the Chamber of Commerce will not be affected. The intent behind this is to look for ways to make some improvements that we're getting a lot of good feedback on, but basically it's another revenue source for us to kind of increase tourism and traffic through our community. There are several items listed as projects. These are capital projects. One item, the first item in the resolution, is to make some improvements to the Carrollton Cultural Arts Center. Much of these improvements are kind of renovation type improvements. They need carpet. They also need to have the carpet pulled off the walls that's stained. And there's some general appearance type things that need to happen. We also would like to provide LED lighting in the theater so that we can conserve energy. The other items on the agenda that we included are a spur into Adamson Square for the Carrollton Greenbelt. This is one thing we're hearing a lot of feedback on right now just because of all the activity that's going on Rome Street. I'm not sure if you've been on the north side of town on Rome Street, but we're basically shifting the road and putting a kind of a spur along Rome from William Street north up to the entrance of Hobbs Farm Park. Several more items listed as projects would be corridor and gateway improvements, and then the last one is a community branding campaign. We did include a revision to this resolution after these went out to you guys, and you have it before you. We wanted to make sure that as part of this community branding, that these are the kind of the physical implementation of the branding campaign. In other words, it's signage. It can't necessarily be kind of the operational implementation. It has to be kind of the physical improvements that we will make as a result of the community branding campaign. The new breakdown, as required by state law, we do have to provide this, would be 3.5% would be used to promote tourism, conventions, trade shows within the city. 1.5% would be allocated towards product development, which are the projects that we were just discussing, and then 3% can be allocated to the general fund of the city of Carrollton. I would strongly encourage you to also include that as part of some of the product development so that we can have more to put towards some of these projects that we've been discussing. Do you have any questions?
Erica, will we get a new logo?
I sure hope so. I have found, doing a little bit of research, I think Live, Work, Play is the most overused branding slogan for local governments. So we probably, hopefully, will have we're basically hiring a municipal image consultant. So we're going to have somebody come in and look at who we are and help us better tell our story.
That's
Right.
who we are, right?
So we love being outdoors. I mean, there's a lot of things I think that we don't really tell our story as well as we probably could.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to note, kind of the process, this is the very beginning of the process. This resolution will go to the Georgia General Assembly. They actually will have to approve the increase, and then it will be signed by the governor, and then it would take effect. During that time period, we'll also have to draft a new ordinance that basically affirms all of what we just discussed, if this is how you approve it.
Chuck, do you know, just out of curiosity, does it come effect on July 1 of 2017 or when the governor signs it?
They normally take effect when the governor signs, unless the act provides for another date. And honestly, I don't know how it will be written in this regard. I suspect it will be when the governor signs it. But that's something we can ask our local delegation. The other thing I told Erica is we can go ahead and start working on the resolution and have those things be ready to track simultaneously if that's the wishes of the mayor and council. But it won't be immediately after the adoption of the local act, because we'll need to revise the revise our ordinance.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
When you say hotel motel tax, is this also going to affect the extended stays?
Oh,
Jim, did we get?
that's a good question.
In the current ordinance, extended stay after so many days, it's exempt from the tax, so I would think that would be the same language.
You know how many days that is, Jim? We don't know.
I don't know that answer. Chuck's looking. I think he's picking the
I mean,
book up.
if they're staying a month, then that's no longer a hotel, right? That's extended stay. Even if they stay 2 weeks, is that?
14
Yeah. I know that could just break a person.
I mean, I'm not trying to pick here. I was just
I
trying to,
like that. I like that you brought that up.
I mean, but 3% on some folks struggling to do
It can bring them down to their knees. Yep.
That's certainly not the intention with this.
Yeah, I understand,
So we can
yes,
we
but I'm
can
glad
draft
you
the new
caught that.
ordinance however we need to make sure it
good.
doesn't.
I mean, can we
happen.
make sure that language is still in place? I mean, I don't want to penalize the
Right,
poor.
you'll see that as well. I mean, all of that language will have to be approved by this council. So all of that will be addressed when we revise the ordinance.
Thank you.
It's a good point, though. It's not one that I had thought of.
I just want to point out, too, this vote has to be unanimous or the General Assembly won't hear it.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, I have a motion to approve.
I move we approve Resolution 26-2016 Hotel and Motel Tax.
I have a first. Do we have a second? I have a second. All in favor, would you please raise your right hand? Unanimous. On to number 6, bid award, Alabama Street Sidewalk Project. Mr. Grizzard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You will find this was handed out to you after the fact because we opened the bids last week, which was prior to the initial issuance of the package. If anyone in the audience would like copies of the bid tallies, I have them here. You're welcome to them. This is the sidewalk that's been promised to Mr. Byrd and his constituents on the west side for a long time. This is a sidewalk that runs from along Alabama Street, from 4th Street, all the way to the intersection on Columbia Drive. You can see the muddy path where people walk. You can see people walking in the state highway, and these are one of the kind of projects I really like to do because there's clearly a need. It's clearly a safety issue. And so we bid this project out, and we received 3 bids. And the low bid was from Llewellyn Construction Company. We did receive a bid from our people who normally do our sidewalks, which is Georgia, Alabama, Woodlands. But the low bid was Llewellyn. They're a fantastic contractor. They've done the Greenbelt all around. They've done 95% of the Greenbelt in town, and their bid is $195,873. This does not include the railroad crossing. That will come at a later date because it is a special issue dealing with the railroad. But we're very pleased with the price, very pleased with the contract. And we also ask that as you approve this, that you also approve that we pay this out of the sanitation fund where we normally get our paving money. That will let our SPLOST fund build back up. And that's a good legal place to pay this project from.
So we're going to pay for it out of what now, Tim? I'm sorry.
Sanitation.
Okay. Does that need to be in the motion?
Yes, please.
And could you spell the name of the company that we awarded it to? I'm trying to find
it's
it.
Lewallen, Llewellyn Construction Company, and they did most of the Greenbelt.
All right, mine was detached. I'm sorry. I kept trying to find that. Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you.
Tim, I just have a couple questions, more educational. Llewellyn, how do you pronounce them? I'm sorry, Llewellyn?
Llewellyn.
Welch name. I'm just curious how they have a lower bid amount, lower estimated days and completion compared to the JCH. And then the same thing happens on the Almond Road improvements as well. And then I'm just curious about the bid amount rating, what that actually means, and the quality of work references. I mean, you don't have to spend 30 minutes explaining it, but
I'd be glad to. We bid these as an RP because all concrete finishers are not created equally, and some people who may do, say driveways or basement slabs or whatever, are not used to working on the side of the state highway. It's a completely different job. So we structure these bids so that we don't have to take the lowest bid. We can take the lowest qualified bid. In this case, they were both. And if this were a contractor that we didn't know, I'd be nervous. But this is one of the best contractors I've ever dealt with. I mean, again, they built the Greenbelt all around town. They're just fantastic. And so are Georgia, Alabama, Woodlands. They've done a great job also. I don't know JHC, but again, they're not in the running. But I have complete faith in Llewellyn, and I just can't say enough good things about them.
Okay.
And I will have a similar thing to say about the contractor on Almond Road.
Any more questions? Assume you're ready to vote. Do you have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move we award the Alabama Street Sidewalk project to Llewellyn Construction for the lowest bid amount of $195,873.40, and that we use sanitation money to pay for that, which will be reimbursed through SPLOST, correct? Did I say that correctly? It won't be reimbursed.
You actually don't have to reimburse. Let's just pay this out of sanitation.
Okay, gotcha. So paid out of sanitation. Please disregard that last part that I just said about SPLOST.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 7, bid award, Almond Road Culvert Improvement Project. Tim?
Okay, you will all recall the floods of December 24th of 2015. The culvert on Almond Road near Corporate Drive was damaged. That spot on that road has been an ongoing problem. We actually attempted to repair it several years back, and we set 84-inch concrete pipe, which weighs nearly 20,000 pounds a stick. We set it with the lake up and did a fairly good job, but it was hard to build the pipe up, and we didn't build head walls at the time because we couldn't build them with 5 feet of water in our way. And I know I'm getting too technical for everybody, but nevertheless, with the damage that we incurred last Christmas Eve, we were able to get FEMA money. Members of our fire department worked hard to get that for us, and we appreciate that. And we have bid this project out, and again, the low bidder is a contractor we know well. He's local. It's Carl Owens Construction out of Bremen. He's done probably more storm drain work for us than anyone in this city since I've been here, and the low bid is $278,932. We will get approximately, and the amount is not set yet, but we'll get approximately $250,000 reimbursement from FEMA for this. So they will open the road, reset the pipes, pour head walls, and also put in guardrail. And the reason you're seeing such a widespread of pricing, this takes cofferdams and Carl, which means basically a temporary dam and pump the water out of the way. Carl is using a new method, which is the best way I can describe it is a very expensive plastic bag that will stretch across the channel, be filled with water. It's a $12,000 baggie, and the other people may be doing sandbags or sheet pilings or whatever, but Carl is very reliable, and again, I'm as comfortable with him as I am and the contractor we discussed a while ago. So I highly recommend that you award this to Carl Owens.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Can I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to award the Almond Road Culvert Project to Carlone.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Have a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Number 8, a bid award, Greenbelt Highway 27 crossing at Kingsbridge Road. Tim?
All right, this is the on-grade crossing of Highway 27 at Kingsbridge. At the existing signal, it involves some minor repaving. It involves the handicap ramps on the Greenbelt, the striping for the crosswalks, the push-button pads, the signals, and everything it takes to make a DOT-approved crossing of the Greenbelt on grade there at 27. We received 2 bids, and the low bidder was, again, Llewellyn Construction Company. Peggy Llewellyn is who actually owns that company, and again, I can't say enough good about them. They admitted to actually underbidding this job because this is the final segment of the Greenbelt, and they didn't want to risk somebody else closing this loop and cutting the ribbon on the Greenbelt. So they're eating a little bit of money for us to make sure they got to do this job. They are, as we speak, doing the crossing at Roop Street. That was a change order to an existing contract, and they're working on that as we speak. So that'll be the 2 places where the Greenbelt crosses Highway 27. And again, we recommend that you award this to Llewellyn.
Now, are we paying for this, or?
We're getting LMIG money for some of this.
Any discussion?
Yes, I wanted to ask, what is, I mean, I'm seeing what's there right now. What is that, like a bunch of little fences all like crossing each other?
That is a chicane, and what it is basically a tortuous path of fence to keep a child from riding his bike out in the highway. You got to stop to get through that
I understand.
maze. And
Okay, I didn't know what it was.
It's the same thing that you see on Bankhead at the lake.
Okay, it's interesting. I see now. Yes, sir.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote.
Need a motion.
Need a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion that to award Greenbelt Crossing and 27 at Kingsbridge Road to Llewellyn Construction.
I have a motion, Mr. Waters. Do I have a second? I have a second, Mr. Rorschach. I have a hard time with that. Rorschach. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 9, Carrollton Housing Authority, West Carrollton CHIP grant update. Mr. Griffin.
Hey guys, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Mr. Manager, Councilor, Olivia, it's good to see you as well. This is my first time having a chance to come speak to the new for 2016 Mayor and City Council. I appreciate the opportunity and I appreciate your attention to those matters related to the Carrollton Housing Authority. But I'm here tonight, well, because it's probably overdue for me to come speak to the group about a new program for us in 2016, a Community Home Improvement Program grant. That's kind of a clunky phrase, so I'll just use the acronym CHIP, a CHIP grant that we applied for basically early spring. It's probably April of this year. We found out probably in May or June eventually that we'd be awarded a grant in the amount of $300,000 to do minor home repair in West Carrollton. We picked West Carrollton for several reasons. One, because, well, we had to pick an area in the application. And two, West Carrollton, the census tract that makes up West Carrollton, has the highest concentration of low-income families in Carrollton. And one of the prerequisites to apply for these funds with us is you have to be low income. But also, West Carrollton is a community we're used to working at, the Housing Authority we're comfortable working in. The Housing Authority has a lot of interest in West Carrollton. We participate in a lot of the community events in West Carrollton, so we thought it was a worthy investment. But beyond that, I don't have the evidence in front of me, but we could probably all jump in the car right now and drive through Carrollton and get out and argue that West Carrollton probably has the highest concentration of single-family homes that are in various stages of disrepair. In fact, as the Mayor and Council is aware, some of those homes, the worst case scenarios, have been removed, demolished, because they have been abandoned and unsafe. And for what it's worth, I think that's been a good thing for West Carrollton. So after finding out that we would get the award, what's typical when receiving public funds is the next step is community outreach. We have gone through that phase. We did advertisements in the local newspaper, the Times-Georgian, and the radio. We did outreach to some of the churches in West Carrollton with literature. Of course, we posted information in the lobby here at City Hall and in my office on Dixie Street. So we did a pretty good job, we thought, in getting the word out in West Carrollton to those families who may be interested. The text or the meat of that message culminated in a call-in event we had in early September. It was probably the first Saturday in September that we had a call-in event that would allow individual families who are interested in participating in a fair process to get involved, basically a first-come, first-served basis. And like I said, we turned the phones on for about an hour one Saturday. Had about 40 families call us in an hour. And right now we're working with about the first dozen of those families. I've had a chance to meet with those families personally. I've had a chance to walk through their homes. And I can tell you that the repairs that we'll be doing are minor, in fact. We'll be replacing roofs, in some cases just shingles, other cases replacing the entire decking and the fascia boards. We will be replacing and fixing porches, substandard flooring that is falling in some cases, and even as far as replacing entire electrical systems. The programmatic rules tell us, the state tell us, that if we touch a feature within any of these homes, we have to bring it up to code. So if we want to fix a light fixture, we need to make sure that the rest of the electrical work is up to code. One particular lady who owns a home in West Carrollton still has the old glass fuse system in her home. It's a home that's probably 60 years old, so we're going to replace all the electrical work for her so it's a safer home for her future. And also, and kind of on, I guess, the softer side of things, the program allows us to do handicap accessibility features to some of the homes that we are working in. In fact, a particular married couple comes to mind that owns a home on Alabama Street, has been there for decades. They are retired, they are elderly, and the wife is in a wheelchair. And the husband will physically pick her up and put him in the car when she needs medical services or she needs to leave the house. So it's good, and I think everyone will be proud to know that we're able to help families like that We can do handicap ramps, and we can also increase the turning radius within their bathrooms and their kitchen. So right now, after meeting with the families, we put together a scope for all the homes we're working in, and we've submitted that to the state. We had to do that along with an environmental review because, well, some of these homes are of age where they have lead-based paint. Some have asbestos. Any home constructed before 78 probably has lead-based paint. So we did those surveys. And the good news is we won't be disturbing any of these areas with lead-based paint, which means we can go further and work with more families with the amount of funding that we do have. But in addition to that, we had to submit our scopes of work to the Historic Preservation Office at the Department of Natural Resources because any home that's over 50 years old before you can spend state or federal funds requires their review and approval. I've done this before. I know the folks at HPD, and I know typically what they're looking for is changes to the exterior or the facade of the homes. And that's something that we will not be doing for the most part other than, like I said, the roofs and the porches. So I don't expect a whole lot of problems from them, although it has delayed our process. But I expect probably, Mr. Mayor, mid-December, maybe it will be an early Christmas for some of our families that we're working with, and we'll finally get to work in doing the renovations. We'll be doing those with local contractors. There's 5 of them we're currently working with.
Did you say mid-Christmas? Is that what you said?
Hopefully we can get started mid-December, so about a month to 5 weeks from now, Mr. Byrd. We are waiting for HPD to finish their historic review. They can take up to 60 days. I hope it doesn't take them that long, but we're waiting.
Mm-hmm. Are there? Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was just going to close, Councilman, by saying that this is the first CHIP grant the Housing Authority has had. That's the good news. The better news is if we don't mess it up, and we want, we can apply in future years for more CHIP funding. So the goal is to take our time, do it right, show off, so to speak, with the state. So next year we can keep applying for more CHIP funds, do more renovations in West Carrollton, and hopefully do renovations community-wide here in Carrollton. So that's where we currently are, Mr. Mayor, with our CHIP program.
Chip.
Chick,
About
yep.
chip. It's making me hungry. But I would like to the chip part.
I'm with
well,
you.
chick too, like big chick.
I'm with
mean,
you.
it's the same thing. I mean, no offense, but
I've heard it all. I promise you.
I know you have. But I want to thank you for, first of all, giving attention to those people who need our help and who need some assistance. There's probably no way they could have made those repairs to their homes on their own. So this is invaluable and it's priceless that we have such a program here in this town. And I'm certainly proud of it. And this summer, when you and I met, I think I threw something out there on Facebook asking, like, what do you think about dilapidated houses? And it got maybe, I don't know how many thousands of likes that photograph got. So I know the community is behind you on this. And they'll be very, very pleased to know that we're moving forward with this program and that we've also received the grant money. So I would like to commend you and your staff.
Thanks.
And I still remember meeting with you that day, and you told me about this idea, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. So I applaud you and everybody else involved, and Tim and the council. Certainly, I'm glad that you guys are. Are we about to vote? We're not voting on this.
No, sir.
Certainly, I'm glad that you guys are standing with us on this particular issue. And again, it's addressing people's need for housing and a place to call home. So thank you very much. And to make that home better and improve quality of life. That's what it's all about.
Sure. And Mr. Mayor, being my first time, I would like to, I guess, before walking away, say that I've just sort of scratched the surface on the services we provide at the Housing Authority in Carrollton. I know I've had a chance to speak to some of you individually about those services. I would love to come back perhaps one day or invite any of you to come to my office one day so I could talk at length about those other services. We're doing a lot of good in West Carrollton. We're doing a lot of good in Carrollton. And I promise you I'll make you proud if you come by and see us for a few minutes. Okay?
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks.
Hey, Chuck. Chick, I'm sorry. I've known Chick my whole life. I can't believe I call him Chuck. If we're able to get get the CHIP grant next year, is it going to stay at $300,000, or is there a chance for it to increase incrementally?
The state works from a pot of money that varies year to year when it comes to CHIP funding, so the recipients' amount varies as well. I would hope to get more, but until we know what the will be year to
Good deal.
That's awesome.
Number 10, railroad agreement update. Tim.
Yeah, this is not something you have to vote on. Libby, if you wouldn't mind putting that photograph up. As you know, the Cross Street Bridge has been closed for some time. It is actually due to, and I don't have a laser pointer, I apologize, but Libby, if you'd shrink that down just a little bit so I can see the far right end of that cross beam. The far end of that cross beam actually has a little rot on the end. The bridge is perfectly safe, but an inspector asked that we close it, and then, we want to err on the side of caution. That beam is jointed in the middle. It's 17 feet long and 12 inches square, and we need to replace the cross beam. And that's what it's taken all these months. We first agreed to use the railroad's contractor, and that was about a 6-week process. And when they sent their final agreement in for us to sign, it required that we indemnify them, and it is illegal for cities to indemnify anyone in the state of Georgia. That pushed us back to the local contractor who reworked that bridge in 2010. That's GRC Stonewater. That's actually John Denny's, who you know him by. So he's going to do the work. He's getting approval through them for his insurance, and he should start by the middle of this month. It's about 3 days' work. So again, you can sense my frustration with this. I am not criticizing the railroad. They're good people, and they have their own criteria and their own problems they have to deal with. But anytime we deal with them, it's a little more complicated than if it were a DOT highway or one of our own roads or bridges. So that's basically what's going on. We hope to have this thing complete by about the 3rd week of November. And again, my apologies that it's taken so long, but as we say, it is what it is. By the way, the railroad contractor was going to charge over $30,000, and John will be significantly less than that. But the insurance alone is about $4,000 to do the job.
I miss that bridge. I miss it.
Well, that's good news. I got 2 or 3 people ask me about that today. When's it going to open back up? Didn't realize so many people used it. Number 11, sidewalk trail to county complex update. Tim?
Just letting you know, Mr. Linnaeus called me a couple of weeks ago, and I talked with him about an idea that actually originated with Michelle Morgan, and that was that we have Erica pull together the Greenbelt team and look at the best way to get a trail, whether it be a sidewalk or a spur of the Greenbelt, to the county complex. As you know, Mr. Linnaeus would like to see a sidewalk go along Noonan and cross the bypass to get to basically the jail and the county offices. And so before we get into something that would cost that much money, we want to make sure we're doing things the right way. We want to make sure that we're looking at a project that would actually work. And I made real clear to him there was no money in the near future for this, but it could be included in a future SPLOST. It could be a project we could look at, in the future. So he was very pleased with that, and he said he supported that. And again, this is a meeting that Erica will call here in the next few weeks.
Was that to maybe possibly shift it down to Old Noonan?
It could be, or, there's some possible DOT money to do the crossing at the bypass, but it might be better then that it go through the Ag Center and tie back to the trail that way, as opposed to the retaining wall that we would need along Noonan Road on the city side of the bypass.
Yeah. Number 12, Main Street Board election, ballot consideration for approval. Miss Erica.
Did you pull those up? The next item on your agenda is the Main Street Board of Directors elections. The current Main Street bylaws allow for 5 to 7 directors. Currently, there are 5 directors. Tom Nielsen is actually stepping down, and so currently there are 4. And so what we are looking to do is replace Tom Nielsen's position, and then also add 2 more directors to the board of directors. This will allow us better opportunity to have a quorum, and then also it just gives a little bit more diversity in the meetings as far as input and creativity and that sort of thing. The way the Main Street bylaws read is the potential candidates are nominated by the Main Street membership. That has occurred, and if you look at your memo and then also on the screen. The following 6 individuals were nominated. There are certain criteria. One is that they are a Main Street member. Each of these individuals is extremely qualified, I feel like, to fill those positions. The next step would be for you to approve these 6 candidates, for them to go on a ballot, and then the Main Street membership will vote on these, basically for these 3 positions. Do you have any questions?
Any discussion?
So we're going to right now make 2 recommendations.
No, you're actually going to approve, or like I said, if you want to remove one, you can as well. The Main Street, the way the new bylaws read that were crafted, Chuck, when was that, about a year and a half ago? The Main Street membership actually elects the board of directors. Now, you can change that at some point in the future, and that might be something we want to look at for them to be appointed just as other committees and boards are appointed. But currently, that's how the Main Street bylaws read.
We're looking to remove anybody we don't want on here. Is that what we're doing?
Correct. If you basically just have to approve the nominees, and then it'll go to a membership vote probably in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I agree that Faith Mallory will bring a fresh business perspective to the board. She's a good friend of mine, so I know her. The rest of these people I've heard about, I'm sure they are very interested, and they'll help the city move forward as well.
I've met most of the people on the list, and I'm just excited to see someone from UWG and Tanner being in the running for it, because they do connect directly to our Main Street, and that will directly affect then those businesses and institutions. So,
Main Street works with Tanner, Southwire, UWG, a lot of our corporate sponsors almost on a daily basis. I mean, it literally is a daily conversation. So they are certainly, it would be a good fit, and they need the representation. So.
More questions? Hearing none, y'all ready to vote? Can I get a motion we approve?
So moved.
Got a motion, Mr. Byrd. Second from Mr. Waters. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 13, appointment for Nonprofit Financial Assistance Committee. Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You may recall Resolution 14, 2016 was passed in June to provide for policies and procedures for funding civic organizations, charities, and nonprofit groups and other similar entities that often approach the city about assisting them financially. Historically, the city has supported a number of organizations. Some of those were appropriate and certainly good for this community. I would think of the Soup Kitchen, the Reentry Program, the Rape Crisis Center, and a lot of these programs affect crime in the city, and it's great that this city, they affect it in a positive way, and it's great that this city can support those organizations. There have been some from time to time that we probably should not have been funding because they probably violate the gratuities clause in Georgia state law. So the resolution that you passed back in June allowed for you to form a committee of not less than 3 members, not more than 5. They have to be Carrollton residences, and I'm asking you tonight to nominate some people or put some people on that committee. I know Mr. Waters, Councilman Waters, has asked to serve. You could only have 2 councilmen, or you're going to have a quorum. You're going to have a sunshine law issue. So if another councilman wanted to serve, that would be fine. And again, I know some of you gentlemen have some ideas on who you'd like to see on the committee as residents.
I recommend Robin Collins. She doesn't know it, but.
So how many are we looking for? 3 to 5. 3 to 5.
I'd like to recommend Adam Hinman. I've spoken with him. He is a Carrollton resident. He's worked in nonprofit and private entities over the years, and I have a firm belief that he will look at our city's best interest and how these dollars are spent, and possibly look to leverage those dollars in private investments at the same time.
And I'd like to recommend we nominate or look at appointing Gary Bullock. I spoke with Gary earlier today. Gary's former, I believe, chairman or at least general manager of Carroll EMC and very involved in the community. And he's willing to serve on this committee if we need him to. So put Gary Bullock in the hat.
So is that 3 men and 1 woman? That's if Robin says yes. Did we vote to have a 3-member committee, or can it be more than, or 4-member committee? Can it be
3
more
to
than?
5. It can be 3 to 5.
Yeah, I suggest we add 1 more female and possibly a minority to the mix as well. Can I get a little bit of time on maybe suggesting another name, an additional name? Right now, Barbara Green comes to mind, but she may be exhausted at this point from serving on so many boards.
We can bring this back in December.
Okay, let's do that. And I want to bring 1 more name, if you don't mind. A minority female, if you don't mind.
So we're just going to table this till December?
Yes.
Everybody? We need
And will y'all contact Robin, or do we contact Robin?
I'll call her.
Okay, good.
I move that we table this appointment to Nonprofit Financial Assistance Committee until the December 2016.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Have a second. Motion's tabled. Everybody in favor, please raise your hand. Motion's tabled. We have an appointment corridor development beautification committee.
In September 2016, the mayor and council created the Carrollton Corridor Development and Beautification Committee. At the time, 12 inaugural members were listed in the resolution. We did hear finally from April Harris, although she's very interested in the work, she just can't fit it in her schedule right now. And so we have 1 open seat that we would like to fill. We had, just to kind of give you a little bit of an update, we had our kickoff meeting in October. It went very well. I think we're working towards kind of setting our priorities and goals. The November meeting, we're going to be looking at some issues with utility lines in some of the corridors, and then also we're going to try to get someone in from DCA to talk to us a little bit about different financing options we may have as we look towards trying to basically revitalize and redevelop some of the corridors that are part of that.
Can you tell us who the 12 are? I mean, 11 are now. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'll have to go around the room. Met Lane, David Godwin, Michelle Morgan, Chuck Connerly, myself, Rory Wolchik, Sandra Houston, Luke Wolchik.
Mike Patterson.
What'd you say?
Mike Patterson.
Mike Patterson, John Salmon. Who am I forgetting, Chuck? I wasn't counting, so I'm not going to start over. But I wished I had the memo from last month. I'm sorry, to make sure I have them all. I think that might be close to it. Right.
I think you called them all.
I think I called them all out.
I'd like to attend those, at least 1 or 2 of those. When are they again now?
They are, I think is it the 4th Tuesday? Is that what? I think the 29th, I think, is the 28th is the next one. If we do that, Chuck, what do we need to do about the...
You would have to, because there would be a meeting of a quorum, you would at least have to advertise the meeting.
Oh, if I show up. So I want to let you know ahead. I'm not coming anytime soon.
Okay. But just let me, do we have to do it so far in advance?
Yeah, but that's okay. It's not far in advance.
Okay.
But, as much notice as we can give.
I'll give you about a month or 2.
Okay. We would love to have you. I mean, I felt like the first meeting went really well. We were kind of looking at trying to get a handle on what our tasks were going to be. So, do we have any questions or recommendations? Or
I have a recommendation. Christina Davis, she's a Carrollton resident. She is a senior development project manager. I know in the discussions that we had, we were looking for somebody that worked in development. That she works just financial modeling and just kind of development, mixed use spaces and things like that, which I think will be helpful in that committee for sure.
Anybody else got a name?
I move to close nominations.
I have a motion to close.
But wait, motion to close, but how late can we make suggestions or recommendations as to who we want to serve? I mean, I can't think of anybody right now.
we were looking to appoint someone this evening, or we can table it until next month, whichever.
What if we table it until next month?
Well, they're going to meet this month.
Well, what if we table it until next month? Just go with it. It's fine. Thank you.
So have a motion to close. Do we have a second to close? Have a second. Roy, would you rename?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Christina Davis to the Carrollton Corridor Beautification and Development Committee.
It is long and wordy.
That's Chuck Connolly's fault. I just hope we get T-shirts.
Yeah.
I just want a
That
T-shirt.
sounds like a disease. CCDBD.
We'll rename ourselves eventually. We haven't gotten to know each other well enough yet to figure out what we'll come up with something much cooler.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. We have a reclassification, recall. Everybody, all in favor, please raise your hand.
I'll second his motion.
May I stop the presses? I would like to put the name Monica Smith out there, Professor Monica Smith, who's over the business school at the university. If I may, it may be too late.
Chuck, I'm looking at you.
Oh. She'll do whatever I ask her to.
The appointees, I think there's 1 year terms on some of them, so they will come up sooner than if there's not all 4
I
years.
just want to make sure these boards are representing minority interests in this town. You know what I mean? And that the West Carrollton corridor will be treated, and not that I don't trust the folks who are there, but I just want to make sure we're all equally represented in every sector of this city, every board, because we're a very diverse city full of all kinds of people. So I think these boards and our staff, our soapbox needs to represent what our town looks like when we drive around.
Absolutely agree.
Yes, ma'am. Even though, I ain't going to say it, but okay.
Can we close nominations? And we had a first and a second, and then we had a restatement. So let's vote, right? All in favor of Rory's nomination, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 15, appointment Carrollton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. 4 people. Mr. Grizzard.
All right, we've got 4 open slots for the CVB, and the CVB board actually brought these names to us. 2 of the members are currently serving, and they would like to continue to serve. That's Chris Duffy and Mike Hart. Chris owns a corner cafe, and Mike Hart is the catering manager for Federico restaurants in town, Sambaloca, Loco Mex, the border. So they would like to continue to serve. Nicole Clark has rolled off, and Shannon Mundy, his sales director for the Courtyard, has been recommended by the CVB. And then Trudy Krunkle has rolled off, and then Daryl Johnson, which is the park manager for McIntosh Reserve Park, has been nominated. Realize the structure of this board requires certain people from certain parts of the community, and Libby might be better able to address this. She served on that board for years, but you have to have people from restaurants, people from city staff, you have to have people from the hotel industry, and then at-large representatives. So these people would fill those needs.
Any discussion?
Well, based on the way Chris Duffy's sandwiches taste, he gets my vote from the corner cafe. For real.
That's pretty good.
They're great.
Hearing no discussion, have a motion we accept.
You do it.
I move that the mayor and city approve the 4 individuals suggested by the CAVB.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Waters. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries. That gets us down to mayor and council announcements. Anybody like anything they want to say from up here?
Mayor and members of the council, I would like to, first of all, welcome Libby Duke back to our council meeting. She's been here with me since the beginning almost. So, Libby, we welcome you back. Glad to see her husband in the back as well. Sorry I didn't recognize who you were when we first came in, but then I sat down and went, wait a minute, that's Libby's husband. Also, I wanted to commend our superintendent of Carrollton City Schools on a beautiful campus, and I don't go down much, but I went down the other day and I saw the new school, and I thought, whoa, it's like, whoa, it's huge, it's incredible, and it has a great presence, and it looks great so far. And I would like to thank those of you who participated in Target's Down Syndrome Walk. I know the Carrollton Police Department was there, the fire department was there as well, and we had a great time there. Also, the drug walk in West Carrollton was wonderful a couple weeks ago. Joel had police officers there, the fire department was there, and it was highly successful. I would like to commend Peter Meyerhofer and his staff on the opening of Legends West Park in West Carrollton. Also, Kent for his hard work in landscaping the park and making it look beautiful, and certainly his work on the butterfly garden and all the other features over at Legends West. Tim, Libby, working day and night on Legends West to make it one of the most beautiful parks in town. And as a reminder, Legends West is the only park in town that we designed with a kitchen to service people on those cold, dark days. You can go out to Legends West inside the kitchen and make soup or whatever you want to do to give out to the poor. Hopefully no one's going to tamper with it, man. Also, Jimmy and the firefighters for putting out that fire the other night at the, I mean to have the name wrong, the storage shed where the tools are kept out at East Carroll. So thank y'all for that. That could have really, really been bad considering the drought conditions that we have right now in the city. So I applaud y'all for that. Jim, Chief again, Fire Chief again, I would like to thank you all for coming out to Morris Chapel the other day in West Carrollton and doing crafts in the streets with me and the kids. Captain Kennard stood out that day as an incredible man who knelt down and got down on their level and got dirty, and it was just absolutely incredible. Jason Westbrook was another standout, and Chris Bradley was a standout as well. I would like to commend our mayor and Lori Blackman, who's in the audience as well, for judging the Miss Sparkle pageant on Saturday. We had a lot of fun there, and the chief's daughter, Abby, was one of the queens that night. She was crowned, so we applaud her as well. She was absolutely beautiful. And to those teachers who work with the kids every single day, making sure they have everything they need and making sure they're taken care of and making sure they're learning, we applaud them as well. Their hard work showed. And if you haven't been to Miss Sparkle, man, you are missing Carrollton's crown jewel. It's an absolutely phenomenal show. And I would also like to invite everyone, if you could take out your calendars, Chief Richards and I, along with the Carroll County Prison. Tell me when I'm wrong now, Chief. The Carroll County Prison, we're hosting a program called Face to Face. And this is the third one that we've had, and we're doing this as a response to all those parents calling saying, what do we do about our kids? We don't know what to do. They won't listen. So what we're doing is we're bringing inmates to the West Carrollton Gym on Saturday, November 19th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and we're providing lunch and drinks, and the inmates are going to have a conversation with youth and with parents about the things that they go through and what it's like inside prison and what it's like to have their rights taken away, and hopefully they can help steer our youth on the right path. And Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, there's a young man in the back, Logan Moore. He's Robert Moore's son. He is a Cub Scout. Am I right? A Boy Scout. A Scout. Okay, he's a Scout. And may he hit the gavel at the end of the meeting. He's here to get some service hours. Am I right? Service hours. May he hit the gavel in the end. And I would like to wish everybody in this room a happy Thanksgiving, all of our citizens as well. Happy Turkey Day. And if you don't have food, I certainly hope you take advantage of some of the resources out in the community. And happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I'm lost my voice after being court. Yeah.
Whoa.
Everybody's afraid I was going to talk too much tonight, so this is probably what everybody's hoping for. I got to be in court tomorrow, so I'm trying to preserve it. I'm not going to be here in Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be here in December. I'm taking my family down to Orlando, but it's a surprise, so y'all can surmise where we're going. So I want to keep that in case they watch it on the video. Anyway, so I want to talk about this year. But before that, I just wanted to say, Tim, I had 3 constituent issues that I asked Tim to deal with today. He dealt with them, and the city dealt with them, and all 3 constituents texted me and called me and talked to me about what a wonderful job the city employees did today. They immediately responded, providing garbage cans, taking care of, helping, giving attention to speeders. So thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. I just want to say that this year has been, I think it's been really productive, and I want to thank everybody on the city council. I think we have done tremendous amount of work, and I wanted to go back and look at how many votes we've had and how many times we agreed, because I think we've had unanimous votes much more time, probably 90% of all our votes, I would imagine, been unanimous. And I just want to remind everybody everything we've accomplished, because it's been, I think, incredible. The first thing we did was we changed the meeting time from 4:30 to 6. That wasn't a hard vote for us, but I think we've had a lot more participation this year and a lot more people attend. So I thank everybody for supporting that. We also doing the Keep Citizens Informed resolution that Gerald Burrow had passed or asked to pass. And we're supposed to be doing an annual newsletter, and that should be coming out that I hope will, in a few days, you're going to let us look at that. Okay, great. That's going to tell everybody about everything that the city's been doing. Also, town hall meetings. I know Gerald and Roy have done a great job hosting those. So we were talking about doing that. We also did passed the Facilities Fairness and Accessibility Resolution, where we now post the rental rates for everything online to make it accessible to everybody for the Carrollton facilities. We've also done the Customer Service Skills Resolution, and we're all working on that. They're all trained, and so that was another Gerald idea, and thanks for that. We also have been holding work sessions and getting people to come. We've held a number of work sessions, had everybody from, for example, the realtors have come, and for their inputs. That's been great. We've also, one thing I've been proud of is having the agenda published 5 days before business days, and where it used to be published the last business day. So I'm grateful for that. We also have the splosh. We mandated that would be public record. It's on the webpage now that any citizen can go on and see what exactly our balance or our splosh is. Another thing that I know the mayor's proud of that he worked hard for was repeal of the retirement plan. And so we've done that. We've also, another that Gerald and Tim that we all saw tonight was the fiscal oversight ordinance for an application process for organizations. And we've also done the improved quality of life ordinance. You remember that was one of our major, I think we might pass that in February, to attack and tear down bladed houses. And then I know the moratorium has caused a lot of controversy, but that's something I do stand by. I am proud of that. And I think we have now put in regulations that are going to help with us police, or not police, but with multifamily apartments. So I'm proud of that resolution, and I believe it'll probably be coming to an end on January 1, 2017. I don't know if anybody's going to put it on the agenda in December. I'm not going to be here to put it on the agenda to try to renew it, but so we'll just see how that goes. But again, to all y'all guys, it's been a great year. Chuck, thank you for everything. Chuck's been incredible. You can call him at any time, and he answers the phone, and he'll work on any resolution. And Mayor, you've done a great job this year. So thank y'all, and again, happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. I'll see y'all in January.
I got a couple things. I just want to say thank you to Tommy Holland and Erica Studdard for working with me on restriping, putting in Sharrows signage on Stewart Street for more cycle-friendly facilities over there. I've had a lot of people contact me and say not only are they riding their bikes, they're seeing other people there, and they're also seeing people drive slowly or more slowly on that road. There's new electronic speed signs on there, which definitely help remind people that what the speed limit is. So thank you for working with that. That's been fantastic. I'd also like to thank Kent Johnson and Carrie Burnett we had a tree planting a couple weekends ago at Safari Park. We put in about 8 maple trees over there, and we had a good few people come out to help with that planting. And it's I know it's extremely dry, so I know they're kind of upset with me about putting those in, but they're watering them, and hopefully they will create some shade for in the future. Joel Richards, Chief, I want to thank you for your leadership and helping with all that you do, the investigations, everything that goes on. You and your staff, all the officers, do an absolutely phenomenal job. I just want to thank you for that. Tim and everybody in the city staff, Connie especially as well, we don't have to worry about the drought. We don't concern ourselves with it. If you look at Lake Buckhorn, it looks pretty low, but we still have, how many months did you say? 9 months. That is fantastic. The fact that we don't have to concern ourselves with that just is a true testament to how good of employees you guys are. So thank you for that. Excited about the library. We just had a meeting today, and we're going to hopefully choose our architect for that, or let the architect that we have chosen know soon. I'm very excited to see that project move forward. It's going to be a big welcome, not just to that neighborhood, but to the whole region. It's going to look fantastic. No concepts have been chosen, but just some of the drawings and some of the design stuff will be fantastic to that area. And the Greenbelt, we're on the last leg of it. We're so close. I'm very excited. I use it all the time. I know a lot of other people do too. It's very exciting to see that moving along and coming to an end. So yeah, thank you to everybody that worked on that. So.
I just want to say thanks for the first responders. I know they've had a busy month, doing everything y'all been doing, from Jimmy to Joel to it's just everybody involved. Mike Green is his crew trying to keep everything picked up and cleaned up. It's leaf time of the year. Trying to keep our sewers clean. Stormwater, so if we ever get any rain, we don't have any rain right now to worry about stormwater, but well, everything that everybody's doing, I'm hearing great responses from all over the community. Granted communication for what they're doing with getting the podcast out for everybody to visit and see at home. It's just been a great year, and we'll talk more next month.
Just recall Mayor's Day, which is a bit of a mini GMA convention. There's training available to you. It comes up in January. Libby's your contact on that, and she's going to reach out to all of you. We have set, several of you asked for a Christmas party between our appointed boards so that the elected officials and the appointed boards could meet one another. That date is set for the 17th of December. That is a Saturday, and it'll be held at the Cultural Arts Center. We'll get you more information. We are planning a budget work session. We did one in May last year. We want to do it in February this year. From talking amongst you guys, what I'm hearing is let's do a Saturday and a Sunday, and that you like the Callaway venue that we went to last year. So that'll be 2 long days. Bring a cushion so you can stand sitting that long. And the last thing I wanted to let you know, we always try to tell you before we buy a vehicle, because the public sees a new vehicle and they want to know where it came from. Joel's officers seized a 2013 F-350 in a drug raid. There are certain laws around what we have to do to take possession of that. We had to pay 10% of the book value, and we had to pay for the storage. So they paid $7,071.88 out of the drug fund for that vehicle. But if you see that very nice truck out there, it was bought for $7,000, and it was bought with drug money. Thank you.
Any more business coming before this body? Hearing none, I claim we adjourn. There you go.